Hey everybody, how are you all doing? Certain states are finally letting us get into phase 1 and we can go out, but we must wear a mask. And the thing is, if you are a woman and you have to wear your mask, the problem is that when you take it off, a lot of your foundation will show up on the mask. I have tried so many different formulations to make my makeup stay on, and I think I found the winning combo and I want to share it with you.
Oy vey.
Now it's a couple of steps and a couple of different products. The basis of this formulation is the TikTok and YouTube hack that makeup artists use to make their foundation last all day. So if you're watching this in the future, this is also good for when you just want your makeup to stay on all day. But you want your skin to look nice and not cakey and breathable. You don't want to end up breaking out or for your skin to look too dry. So I really feel like this combination works. It may not for you. This is what works for me. I know there are bigger problems in the world and everybody's thinking, well, why would I even want to do my makeup under my mask if no one's going to see it? But maybe you work in a hospital and when you take your mask off, you want to feel a little better about yourself. Like when you go home to your spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, maybe you just want to look better because it makes you feel better. And I say if it makes you feel better, then do it. So for women, to put on some makeup and feel a little normalcy is actually good for their mental health. Now I do want to say right now I have on my eye makeup. This way if anything drips I just wipe it away and I do the foundation last. I also have on my City Lip Matte Lip Polish. I did a review of City Beauty products and I'll link it right up here. This stays on, even though it's matte, it's not drying, so it has staying power as well, but if you just want to put on some lip gloss or leave your lips naked, it's totally up to you. So make sure that you have moisturized first, because that's very important. You want to have like a smooth canvas to start with. Then you will take powder, and I use IT Cosmetics Bye Pores. You take a small, kind of like a blush brush, because the thing is, I feel like when you use these big powder brushes and you're putting on the powder and you're going like this, it ends up just going in your hair and the air. You want to press your powder into your skin. I never understood that. So I'm just going to take it and press. I have a mirror over here I'm looking at, so I can see what I'm doing. And as you can see, even while I'm pressing, some of it is going in the air. And I usually don't put this much powder on, but this is how you want to base it. And this powder is very light. It's not heavy. That's why I love it. And if you notice, my face is lighter than my hands and over here because I use so much SPF due to using Retina A that I'm whiter in my face. But don't worry about that because you can always make your foundation a little darker, and that's what I do. So now you have the powder on, you can look at it in the mirror. If it's too heavy, then you can take that big fluffy brush and just go over it lightly to brush the excess away. The next step is to use a setting spray. Now, I happen not to like a lot of setting sprays because I feel like because I have more mature skin, they're too drying for me. So I took 1.5 cups of water to 2 tablespoons of aloe vera gel. This is the only spray bottle I could find around. It seems like everybody bought out the travel size spray bottles online. Why, I don't know. Where is everybody going that they need travel size spray bottles? But anyway, because of that, I don't want to squirt it directly to my face because it has that weird nozzle that you use like to water plants. So I just spray some in my hands and I rub them together and I pat my face. And I love this part because it feels so cool and refreshing. And aloe is so good for your skin because it's lightweight. It just feels so good. It's nice to have something that makes you feel good during this time. I'll let that dry. Okay, now that that's all dry, you are now going to put on a primer. And not just any primer. Make sure you're using one that isn't matte. It should be moisturizing. So I use the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. It has a little tint to it, but you really don't see it. It almost reminds me of the Pore stuff from Benefit. It feels like that. It's like very lightweight. And it just goes on so smooth. Yes, I use my hands. I don't believe in any of those beauty blender sponge thingies. I don't even use that for my foundation because I just feel like there's so much bacteria on those things. I mean, you can wash it every day, but I don't know, it just skeeves me out for some reason. I don't know, I'm weird. I mean, sometimes I'll use it, like if I want to put on concealer under my eyes and get it really in there, but I immediately wash the sponge. So now that the primer is all set, you will go in with your foundation. And like I said, when you see me put on my foundation, don't get all crazy and say, oh my gosh, it's so dark. What is she doing? Well, it's dark because, like I said, I'm paler in my face. So here's my concealer brush. I love this one. It came with my Sephora brush kit. Dab it on first with the brush and little dots. And then I will connect the dots, holding my hair back because I have a bad habit of getting it in my hair, which is another reason why I don't use the sponge and I use the brush. And it feels so good too. So just put a little on your ear in case you put your hair up. A lot of people miss that spot. And when they wear their hair up, it's a dead giveaway. And yeah, I do have concealer on when I did my eyes, but I may just brush a little on there just to blend it all in. I might add a little more to my forehead because that's where I have really bad pores. I'll kind of blend the leftover in here. Then I'll take the brush and I just really mush into like the sides of my nose because I find that's where my foundation gets a little cakey. So that's the foundation. I use a very light hand. I don't make it heavy. There's no need to. I mean, maybe it's not heavy enough for camera, but for real life, it's totally fine. The older you get, you don't want to start caking on the foundation or heavy powders, trust me. Now this is an option. If you're young, you probably don't need to put another layer of powder, but I do. And I actually feel like it just makes it more foolproof. Look at all that poofiness in the air. It reminds me of that cartoon with the witch on Bugs Bunny when she would run, her hairpins and like a cloud of smoke would go. Some of you are probably too young to remember that. And you would think my age demographic would be old enough, but I'm finding my age demographic is 35 to 44. I think a lot of you are doing preventative and taking lessons from us older gals. And as you can see, it's very light. It's not cakey. And my skin feels very smooth. It's more smooth than when I just do foundation and a little powder. It feels like velvet. Like, I can't explain it. You do this and then you feel it and you tell me in the comments below if it felt like velvet. So now I'll just put on my blush to finish the look to show you. And I use this stiff highlighter brush for my blush. I know that sounds crazy, but the same thing. I feel like if you use one of those blush brushes and you're just going like this, it ends up in your hair, it ends up in the air. I take my blush, I got this really nice color, I'm gonna review this in a summer haul. And I just press into my skin. And I feel like I have more control because when you get older, you can't really put too much close to this part of your face. This shouldn't be really a makeup lesson. This is about making foundation stay on your face, but I happen to go off on tangents. Also, my hands look very ruddy because I'm also testing out new self-tanners. And I've tried different things on my hands, my face, and everywhere else, so I have all different colors, but no one sees but you guys. I don't know if you could tell on the camera, but you see I have like a natural flush now. It's not like bam, blush. You really have to go more natural as you get older. I think it's more about having a smoothness in your skin than it is about looking like you have a lot of makeup on. At least that's how I feel. So pretty much you're good to go. You can add a little more gloss if you want. I have dry lips, so I'm gonna add a little more. If I can just get my hair not to be frizzy. The humidity is like 90 today. Enough chit chat, let's put the mask on. Now this mask was given to me by my stepdaughter's mom. She sells them. I'll put a link in the description box below if you like them. She has a lot of nice tie-dye ones and designs. They fit very comfortably and they're very breathable and they wash really nice if you put it in a delicate cycle. Like they don't fray, they're really good quality. The other day I wore it for 8 hours and this is what it looked like. Now some of it came off, but I don't think it looks that bad. And that's it. I mean, even now, nothing really came off. I don't know if you could see. I think this really works. I also have another little hack for you. Now, when you put your hair up and you put the mask on, you see how it pulls on your ears and you look like Dumbo? I hate that. I have big ears as it is. I never used to, but when you get older, along with certain things drooping, your ears and your nose get bigger. It's terrible. It's terrible getting old. Don't get old. So you take a safety pin, you put it around one of the ear thingies, and then you take another one, you attach it to that safety pin. You put on the mask, but kind of like around your neck. You safety pin the back, and then you pull it up like this, and it stays on, and it's not pulling on your ears, it's below the ear. Now I know they make the ones that tie. I have those on order, they haven't come yet, but in a pinch with some safety pins, and actually it keeps it tighter. And then when you want to take it off, it just rests on your neck. You don't have to worry about taking it off your ear. Is it gonna fall off? I hope those of you who are in phase 1 are still gonna be safe and wear a mask and wash your hands. We're still kind of vulnerable. Not even kind of, we're still vulnerable. So be careful when you're out there. Let me know in the comments below. Do you have some kind of hack to keep your makeup on? Do you have a mask hack? Are you going to try this?